Welcome back. Last time we discussed the quadrivium in the liberal arts, and now we want to examine the fourth science in the quadrivium, astronomy, or number in time and space, in a little more detail. Today we usually think of cosmos as simply meaning outer space, but the word derives from the Greek word signifying embroidery, which implies an orderly and harmonious universe of orderly patterns that are beautiful, not some random collection of purposeless, disconnected things. Cosmos was juxtaposed to chaos, and it was also juxtaposed to ugliness. Because for the Greeks, always that which was chaotic was also ugly. The two went together. Now, if you look at the heavens with your naked eye, you'll see that you have all of these stars which move in a regular fashion. And all the traditional cosmologies are based on the immediacy of the world of nature. If nature has anything to tell us, surely it's based upon the gifts that enable us to see it. For example, if somebody goes into an art gallery with a microscope and looks at these great paintings, they'll see a lot, but they will not see the painting, and therefore they will not see the message of the painting. They will see the grain and the color and determine where the color might come from, which factory sold it in Germany, something like that. But what is the message of the painting? So in all revealed religions, the message of the cosmos is always based upon how it appears to us, with God as the divine artisan. That's very significant. And that's why deep down, whatever discoveries modern science makes, it doesn't change the religious significance of the appearance of the cosmos to us, just like the painting in the art gallery. And the cosmos includes not only the visible world, but the psychic and angelic realms as well. The cosmos includes everything below the divine order. So let's look at the heavens above for a moment with the Quranic verse in mind that we mentioned in a previous segment, stating that, quote, "We shall show them our signs upon the horizons and within themselves till it becomes clear to them that this is the truth," unquote. Here is a time-lapsed photograph of the stars circling the North or Pole Star. When I ask Muslim children what this picture reminds them of, they often say it reminds them of the inside of the dome of a mosque, which actually symbolizes the descent of levels of reality from the divine center, as we discussed in our section on Islamic art. Or they say it reminds them of circumambulation, or tawaf, around the Kaaba during the Hajj or Umrah, which is also a means of returning to the divine center, as we also discussed earlier. Moving from the stars to the visible planets, here is the path of Venus around the Earth in an 8-year cycle as drawn by Kepler himself. It's so beautiful. In fact, it's the most beautiful pattern of all the planets, which is why Venus is associated with beauty. It represents God's exquisite embroidery. Kepler connected his illustration of this to the other liberal arts, stating, quote, "Geometry, co-eternal with God and shining in the divine mind, gave God the pattern by which he laid out the world, so that it might be best and most beautiful, and finally most like the Creator," unquote. Connecting these divine patterns to music, Kepler said, quote, "The heavenly bodies are nothing but a continuous song for several voices, perceived by the intellect, not by the ear. A music which sets landmarks in the immeasurable flow of time," unquote. And for Kepler, God was both the supreme geometer and musician. Muslims would say amen to that. And that's exactly why they cultivated astronomy with so much vigor, seeing Ayatollah above for finding God in all things. Now here is the pattern for Mercury around the Earth. And this is the pattern for Mars. We could repeat this for all the planets, but you get the idea. That concludes our segment on sacred astronomy. Next, we'll turn to how Muslims took the Greco-Alexandrian Platonic Aristotelian division of the sciences and integrated them into the Islamic perspective, which also dealt with divine law, the question of revealed knowledge, and all of these things, and created their own classification of the sciences, which was a very, very important exercise in Islamic science, as well as the relationship between the divine order, the cosmos, and the human state, providing the matrix within which all the other Islamic sciences developed.